Hey guys, it's David again. I thought of another part to the VR for Truck and Piper Bob that I wanted to kind of add to my earlier VR. I know it's not necessary, but I just kind of felt like wouldn't be giving it justice if I didn't mention another part of that at VR. So I was thinking, about the books that I read and really enjoyed as a child growing up. And while it's true that I did enjoy Tom Sawyer a lot, it was one of my favorites. In fact, probably my favorite junior high age and all that. But before that, I started thinking about some books, and someone else's VR reminded me of this that I watched this morning. I can't remember who it was, but anyway, another book or set of books actually that made a tremendous impression on me that I really loved would be a set of Compton's Encyclopedia from the 1950s. Now, the way that I saw those, or the way that I had access to those, is that every day after school and in the summertime, I stayed with my grandma. My grandmother had a nursery back then when I was growing up, so she had other kids there, getting paid to provide childcare for other kids, and so I went there. I was part of her nursery. My mom paid her a small amount while my mom worked to take care of me, and she had to pay back then because I took up a spot. And according to the licensing agreement, if your caseworker dropped in and you had more than your amount of children, then you could be shut down. So my grandma was always concerned about that. Therefore, my mother paid my grandma the amount to watch me. So anyway, but when I was over there, my grandma had these old books. I know she also had some childcraft books from probably the 40s or 50s, and she had those Compton's Encyclopedias. I remember them because I had them actually until a few years ago. They were black and they had green labels on them, but I just remember scouring those things, and I loved them because they had pictures, so many interesting articles. I remember looking up anything that I was interested in. I could look it up there. It was like having a library in your home. So I just remember looking up all sorts of different things, places and things, and cows and fireworks and gosh, anything I could think of. So I love those encyclopedias. In fact, I love them so much that later on, after my grandma passed away, I was able to get those for a while, and I had those for years and kept them on a bookshelf. They were never used, so unfortunately, at some point during one of our moves, I decided to get rid of those, and I wish that I hadn't because they're very nostalgic for me. I just remember also buying encyclopedias in the 80s when I got my first job in the oil fields, and I had some money, and back then in the 80s, the encyclopedia salesman would actually come to your home. They go door to door, and I was apparently a sucker for that because I bought a massive set of Encyclopedia Britannicas, and they came in, gosh, probably 6 or 7 different boxes. And I got those, and I was a bit disappointed because they were a lot more scholarly, no doubt, but they weren't anywhere near as interesting as the ones that I'd remembered from my childhood. There was actually a micropedia and a macropedia, which I never really got, but you could look up things and they'd refer you to this other macropedia where it would really drill down on some subjects. Anyway, I used the little Compton's encyclopedias from my grandma's probably a gazillion times more than I used those other fancier, expensive Encyclopedia Britannicas. Anyway, I thought I'd add that because I did really enjoy those Compton's Encyclopedias. In fact, I looked them up, and you can get a set on eBay within like $500, and they look like they're in worse condition than the ones my grandma had when I was a kid. Well, I wish I'd kept them, but I didn't. Such is life. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this addendum to my prior VR to Truck and Piper Bob. Hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.